Yeah, there we go. Good morning. 9:15. Here's what I'm looking at today. Thank you, Suzanne. Good morning for confirming that you can hear me. Today is Tuesday, April 7th. Things to know before the open, economic calendar, and earnings. As far as things to know before the open, this is what Investopedia is sharing. Stocks, oil sink ahead of latest Iran deadline. This is a difficult day to trade. A lot of unknown in the market. The markets have not been behaving what you would call normally. A lot of unknown as far as I'm concerned. There are only a few setups that I am going to be looking at because of Trump's deadline, supposedly tonight, and the Truth Social post that he just posted about an hour ago is scary. So hopefully things settle down and hopefully things get rectified in the Middle East. That's the only thing I'm looking at right now. Earnings season is starting. Levi's and Delta tomorrow. The earnings are few and far between right now as far as the big names are concerned. We're going to start with banks later on this week and next week, and then after that we'll start looking at the tech sector. What I'd like to look at after I mark my my levels is the Tesla break and retest short that ended up working yesterday. And it did fill that gap that we talked about in the pre-market. And then I took only one trade yesterday. It was a MNQ Golden Zone short. I cut it at 2R because it started reversing on me, and it came back to break even. So this was a good trade to take it off once you see a change of character. And what didn't work, I had talked about an AMD break and retest long. And I put it in TradingView, and just noticed this morning I did not look at it yesterday because we missed the breakout, but it didn't work. So I'll be sharing that in a few minutes. That's my top step. I'm still doing the combine. I've only done like 3 trades, I believe, on one of the accounts, and 2 on the other account. One of the accounts, I think I've shared that I am still trying to use my normal strategy of aiming for a minimum of 3R. But with the other account, just because the combine is a different animal, I'm trying just a 1-to-1 ratio just to pass the combine. And then after that, I would be going back to my normal, reaching for a minimum of 3R. So we can talk about the combine a little bit later. Bringing up TradingView. And by the way, these will be the last few days that I will be sharing DOS. I have canceled my my DOS subscription for the time being. I can get pretty much everything I need using TradingView. So that's what I plan on using moving forward. So here we go with my higher time frame analysis on Apple. So yesterday we had put this zone in on Apple. It broke out massively at the open. Now I've put in this fib level from the high because it has pulled back and started buying here. So the only thing I'd really be looking for is a possible sell around the golden zone area. That's what I'm possibly looking at. It would, because as far as where price is concerned right now, there's no room to the left above. Below S3 over here, it could be a breakdown and retest for lower, or if it put in a buying candle at S3 over here, I would be considering, I would consider that. So I am going to set an alert right at S3. I would like it to come and take liquidity just below here. There is possible support underneath here, but I want to see what it does at S3. So that's what I'm looking at on Apple. And if it comes into the area above here, would be the other possibility of starting to look at it, not necessarily knowing whether it's a long or a short. Those are just the levels that I look at because anything in between here, I'm not looking at it. AMD, let's go back to the 30-minute. This was the, while I'm here, I may as well look at it. This was the break and retest possibility I was looking at yesterday, where it broke out. It came down and retested. The long would have been after a bullish 5-minute candle, which there was right here, with the stop below and the 3R above the high of day over here. So I put this in. I did not take this trade, but I put in the long tool in TradingView, and this one did not work. They don't all work, folks, so it's okay. Looking at AMD, sorry, let's go back to the 30-minute time frame and see where we are right now. It did put in a kangaroo tail at S3 this morning. If it were to do the same and grab liquidity below here, it could be interesting. That would be the level I'd be looking at. So I will set an alert up here. And as far as the high is concerned, if it came back into this range up here, it would be where I'd start looking at it, right? It could be a long, could be a short, but if it were to put in a kangaroo tail rejection over here, that's what I'd be more likely to take, because we have all these wicks over here. There's obviously some sellers in this area. So at R3 over here might be an area to sell. But if it broke out, it could be going long. With the unknowns going on in the markets today, I am more looking at the possibility of pullbacks. I'm trying not to have any bias, but it's very difficult with what is going on in the world right now, what's going on with the Iran war. Where price is right now, if we come down to the lows over here, there is room to the left of where we had a lot of buying yesterday. So we pulled back into this in Amazon, pulled back into this morning, and then started buying. As far as I'm concerned, there's no room to the left above price unless it gets way above here. And below price, it would have to come back into this zone over here, right? We're making new highs, pull back, higher highs, pull back, higher highs, pull back, higher highs, pull back. So over here, if it were to come back and pull into this zone, it could be an area to go long, depending on how it reacts over here. Let's put a zone here. Let's put a purple zone in here. This is the area I'm more curious to look at. Google 30-minute time frame. Where price is, there's no room to the left above. Below, there is room to the left if we take out liquidity below here. Seems like there was a lot of buying right at 8 a.m. this morning. It dipped down and then started buying. But again, I'd be curious to know what happens in this area. So I'll put an alert on Google here. Meta. No room to the left above price, right? Because we're making new lows. So not interested in anything above here. It would have to come up to really around this area over here. Actually, I could put an alert up here. If it were to come back up here and reject hard, it could be a short signal. If it breaks out of this area, it could be a long, but there's a lot of resistance up here. So the only thing I'm really interested in is the lows. on pretty much everything I've looked at. So I've got a few alerts here to so that it'll tell me where to look if we hit those levels. Microsoft has been impossible to trade lately. It's not even setting a level on it. NVIDIA, strong bullish day yesterday. Then we hit resistance. Sorry, the day before yesterday. Then we hit resistance over here. Yesterday, it just went sideways. From where it is right now, there is room to the left below price. So if we come back below this area, this is where I want to start paying attention. As in, does it find support here and we get a lot of buying? Or do we break down below this level, then retest for the move lower? And if it does, then we can probably set a level. Don't know why that happens. There you go. Probably set a level or a target down here. Tesla, go on a higher time frame. There you go. Let's get over here. I'll take this out, testing out a few other things here. Definitely an area of interest over here on Tesla. Right, we found support over here, and then now we're right in this area again. So if I were a betting person, Tesla would be the one that I'd really be paying attention to this morning, because it is at a level. It could be a higher time frame double bottom, right? Bottom there, possible bottom here. Now, if it breaks down from here, we need to go on a higher time frame to see how far back do we need to go? Yeah, we need to go all the way back here. Price is right here right now. So right in this area right here, where we touched here and touched here more recently, played around in this area, played around in this area. So this could be an area of to where we'd find some buyers, and it does correlate with the very close to S4. So this area where the blue line is will be very interesting this morning or this afternoon, depending on how long it takes to get there. Qs, as far as where price is concerned right now, it would have to come back into this range over here for me to start looking at it. Below price, we were there and found support on Thursday of last week. And it chopped around in this area. If we lose this area here, let's set an area here. If we were to lose this area here, I would not be surprised to see this come down to the lows of Thursday morning pre-market. So this is what I'll be paying more attention to, but more specifically on NQ and MS or MES. SPY above price, not a lot of room unless we make new highs over here. I cannot imagine, unless news comes out that an agreement has been reached, then the sky's the limit, right? Then we could absolutely be making new highs here. But from where price is right now, in this zone right here, I'm not really interested unless we come down and take liquidity below 644 here. So in this area above, it would have to be, but if it's strong enough to make it up here, maybe some people have information that I don't, and maybe it breaks out above here, right? So where I want to be notified is above these levels or near these levels, the higher and the low here. So that's basically what I'm looking at. This market has been so choppy and indecisive, very little follow through. Some of the trades, breakout and continuations like myself, there has not been a lot of continuation. And with all the unknowns in the market, I am likely not to take any positions until we really get a good idea of who the buyers and the sellers are, or who's in control. So anyway, once the market opens, I want to look at the breakdown on Tesla here. This was a a nice area. Actually, I can do it right now. 1 minute until the open. Those of you who trade the open, good luck. This was a level yesterday. I believe it was the previous day close over here. Once we broke down below it, we can tell by this massive candle over here that the sellers were in charge. And then it came back and retested. It didn't retest to the penny, but it did come back, right? It came back to 18, and the actual level was around 55, I believe. So in this area, you could tell that it retested, then put in these, I don't know if you can really call them tweezer tops, but they're equal highs right over here. And once you make a new low, this is on the 5-minute time frame, we can zoom in and see what happened on it too. But this would be a good short from this area with the stop above here. 3R would have been easily reached over here, 6 or 7R over here. So now the market's open. Tesla is definitely what I want to have on my screen. And I'll be back in a minute. I forgot to grab a drink.
Good morning, Gilles.
Hey, good morning, Evo. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Just I got a super good sleep last night, hence getting a little bit late to the trading desk. But I'm in no hurry because I don't plan to trade for probably a good 30 minutes plus. So
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if you heard what I was saying earlier, but that's where I stand right now. There's so much unknown right now.
oh yeah,
That it's very difficult to put on risk in this type of market. And it's been like that pretty much since January. I was going through my trades, and this is the least trades I've taken in the last 5 years, the last quarter. And it's okay. You know, some people depend on trading as their income,
yeah.
and they're in a different boat, right? I do not. So, and yeah, I know you've got a job. I know a lot of people, you know, they work and they do this. I don't, it's not a hobby for me. It's definitely something that I've been doing for a long time. And I do like the income that I get from it. However, I'll survive without taking trades. And I feel bad for the people that have to make it work, because this market has been more difficult than previous markets. That's the only way I can say it. Do you feel the same way, Evo?
Yeah. I remember the market of 2022, and that's when I went live during the bear market. That was brutal, but you know what?
2022 was difficult, yeah.
But you know what? It was the best learning experience. It was the best market for me to enter rather than a bull market, because bull markets, if you're long, it's cake, man. But it really taught me a lot about risk and protection. And in hindsight, now looking back, yeah, it was the best market to get into. But I remember how it reacted. This market's a little bit different, but it's but yeah, I think now it's more about just waiting even longer, because the trades are out there. There's, at least for my setups, they're still out there, and I'm long. So it's just about being patient, and it may take 1, 2, 3 hours for the setup to appear. It just might, but money can be made for sure going long. And yeah, right now this morning I'm looking at INTC. They had a news catalyst, something connected to Terafab project with SpaceX. So they had that big initial pop up in pre-market. I'm watching them. I'm also watching AMDL, AMD rather, AMDL, and also Palantir and Tesla NVIDIA, kind of the usual suspects, just to see what happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you. But I'm taking less trades nowadays, and I really like it because it's forcing me to really hone in on my strategy and not take shortcuts and only take the setup and don't jerk around.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for sharing. It's I can imagine the people that are learning right now, it can be frustrating. But if you're patient, it's a really good market to learn in. Because everybody can I go back here? Let me bring trading view on here.
INTC is making a run for the pre-market high right now. Volume is building up.
Yeah.
This thing's gonna pop. Yeah, the candle's just about to close, the 5-minute candle in the next 10 seconds. Yeah, big volume. It flipped from red to green, so it's looking very bullish right now.
There's INTC. Let's go to the 5-minute. Let's put volume on there.
Pop out any second here.
There we go.
Of course, that is a resistance level right around $53, but again, it's got a heavy news catalyst, and I see a DeMark sequence on the 15-minute chart. So yeah, I think this thing is just going to go sky. Just got to wait for a pullback.
Yeah, that could be an area of resistance right up here, like you said. This is a high from what was it, January? Their earnings high. Pulled back quite a bit after earnings. And yeah, depending on what the news is right now, yeah, follow your rules. Not just, I'm not talking to you, obviously. I'm talking to just everybody. If something looks good, take your time. Look at the setup. And for me, it's a 5-minute thing. I mean, the breakout happened here on news, but this was the high of yesterday.
Yeah.
Right. So it went up above yesterday's high. Now it's retesting this 5-minute fair value gap here. So interesting to see what it's going to do with the highs.
I think it's going to punch through. It's going to punch through right now. Its average true range is $2.81. We're already at about 210, and I see further resistance levels at 54.70, and then 55.50. So it's with the news catalyst, it can blow the ATR out of the water. It just depends, and also depends on the market too, what it's doing. Well, but there's definitely potential for multiple dollars up.
Yeah, and Apple has given back everything from that massive run yesterday, and coming back down to possibly retest the 250 area. So again, how do you get into this? Unless you're a trader that takes these 1-minute ORBs. I personally am not.
NVIDIA is also looking pretty strong right now too.
Yeah. Yeah, as far as my setups are concerned, it was just chopped all the way around in this area. You're right. It is absolutely making new highs. We're finding some buyers. But I don't see a setup. INTC, very curious to see if it actually continues here or if it finds difficulty up here. Right? It could come down and retest for further move higher, or it could just reject over here.
For me, the secret sauce lies in the pullback. So let it do its thing. For me,
yeah.
I'm not going to chase. Just let it do its thing, and then let it pull back. And so that's where I apply my fib, and I look at anomalies and volume, and that's where I determine if it's a trade for me or not.
Yeah.
But I can't chase. That's no bueno.
Yeah. Tesla's putting in what I really like as a kangaroo tail candle. If I were to get into this, I would have to it would have to close near the 347. and we'd have to see a lot of buying coming in. My initial stop would be underneath the wick, and it makes it very difficult to, that's 250. Right, it's at yeah, it's 200. Sorry, $2.50 as far as the stop is concerned. I sometimes go half the wick. It depends on the amount of buying that we were to get, if we do get buying. So I'm just going to bring up my trading view here on Tesla. I'll move it off screen. Put it on the 5. Yeah. There are some large orders around 247. So we'll see what sorry, 347. We'll see what 347 does. I'm not really feeling it right now. See, it didn't close near the top. If I were a scalper, though, I would definitely take the breakout of 347 here. Let's bring Tesla on the books here. So we see large orders here, 22,000 shares at 347. But what happens after that? All right, so 347 filled. See, that's what I mean, that I don't trust it. So no trade for me right now. Being patient. This massive drop on Apple, this could be a strong level of support, but after some massive selling here, do you get in long on something like Apple here? Right? Like, I wouldn't, especially that it's where is it as far as the cams are concerned? We're approaching S6. It is approaching the low from last Thursday. So 250.65 is the low from Thursday. From right here, right there, or around that area. But I don't like buying after a massive drop like that. Tesla.
I'm short gold.
Hello, let's look at gold.
Hey, Derek.
How are you?
I totally agree with you. It's been really hard trading for me the last couple of weeks since beginning of April. But what I found successful is trying to play ranges, short the top and buy the bottoms.
Yeah.
With a very tight risk.
Yeah, I agree. It's been difficult. So gold, let's go to a 5-minute here. Gold, we see that we are making higher lows. So yeah. Did you say you're short or you're long?
I'm short. I'm short 46.80.
Yeah.
Yeah. I waited to the backside and I shorted the pop that you were pointing at. Yeah.
Yeah, right in here. And that's the most recent 5-minute fair value gap here. It put in a rejection candle right before the open, and then right at the open. First 5-minute candle tried to get above there, could not. Right, then pull back, probably put in a 2-minute kangaroo tail or close to it. Right there. Yeah, I definitely be curious to see what happens at 46.54 area. So Alt H, I'll put a level there.
I'm not looking for a big move because also going for big movers in this market, that's kind of challenging.
Yeah, that's Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's aiming for 3 Rs has been more difficult on my trading combine. This is fine. Let's bring it back to this 5. There we go. So yeah, I've just been aiming for smaller moves. So here's the trade I took yesterday. There you go. So this was the beginning of an impulse move. All right, so the impulse move high here. There we go. So on the futures, I'm really concentrating on the golden zone. This was the impulse move down, and then we started buying shortly after. And right in this area, you could tell that it was rejecting the 61.8 area. We did not have a close above it. Once it broke down below the 50% over here is where just under the 50% here, I don't remember where the entry was right here, right at the white line. And I put in a trade for 3 Rs, but right around this area, it started finding support. So I got out. Right around here.
Yeah,
So it started finding support at the low of day, put in these tweezer bottoms, started making new highs. Like, you know what? I'm out right now. I'll save the 2R. And it was the right move because it just kept on chopping up. Actually, it went down here. But it did come back and take out my stop at 1R over here. Actually, what I was looking at, because it did reverse from here. Let's just there you go. Yeah, so I know that a little bit later on in the day, it did take out the stop, which would have been up above the wicks here. So anyway, I was happy with the 2R on this. What would have been down here would have been 3. So had I been patient, I probably would have been able to get the 3R here.
Definitely agree with you, Gilles, that in these kind of market conditions, it's hard to swing for the fences. It's better to just take some base hits.
Yeah.
Or no hits at all, really.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm leaning towards the no hits at all. It's odd that I've been doing these sessions now for a few weeks, and I've taken a very small amount of trades, but at the end of the day, my setups are not necessarily appearing. And if they do appear, there's very low momentum. The price action isn't right. You want to take a long, but it's right below PDC. You know what? I'd rather wait for my setups. And that's something that took a long time to develop. Anybody who's new out there, I'm sure you'll agree that, you see something, you just want to get in, you want to participate. And for me, it's not worth it anymore.
Yeah, I totally hear you. Looks like we're on INTC. We definitely got a rejection at that 53 level. So we're pulling back. When you take into account the pre-market, the fib 50% level is still holding. So I'm still kind of watching that one.
Let me put it on. What am I not looking at here? Meta.
Do you want me to share my screen? Because my screen's got the fibs on it.
Yep.
Okay.
You don't hesitate. So
share.
If you were to put a fib from the start of the move to the high here, it did dip into it.
Let me know when it comes clear on your end.
Yeah. And if anybody's looking at mine right now, and I'm sure you're going to show something very similar, you're starting the fib at the bottom of the move, right? That's the important part. Where did buyers or where did sellers really step in? What's the impulse move beginning? And then where did it reverse from? Well, that's where it reversed from. And right now it's just touching the 50. The last 5-minute candle touched the 50. It's clear now. Evo, thank you.
Okay. Yeah. It's we had the initial 5-minute candle that kind of breached the 50, found buyers there. The last 5-minute completed candle, and by the way, this is a red candle. I just don't print red because I don't think that's good for me. But it still found buyers there on a little bit lesser volume. Now we're stair stepping down in volume on this current candle. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, this is the golden zone. I could have the 78 level here, and I took that trade on Tesla yesterday at the 78 level, and it's, for me, that's not a good setup. It's too far deep of a pullback. For a continuation like that.
About your candles there, if you the previous 5-minute candle, what was the high of that candle? Right there, yeah. What was
52? I'm sorry, 52.36.
And did the next candle break it by a penny or two?
Yep, 1 penny.
By 1 penny. That's what I found, is that we often trap longs by going up 1 or 2 pennies and then boom, it rejects. So when that happens, that's why like this, I would consider this like a trendy kangaroo, because the previous candle, right? It's a continuation kangaroo tail, and it's a place where a lot of people will add to their positions if they're long. So it's a continuation. It's a long signal, but I wait to see in the price action, do we actually hold above the high of that candle? And with that one, I've been caught in it many times where, oh, it just broke, you get in, and then it reverses right away.
That's exactly what happened to me on Tesla yesterday.
That's exactly the same entry as your Tesla yesterday.
You know.
Yeah. I was talking about it yesterday. Right over here.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll show you on the chart.
Right there. Breakout, retest. You think it's going to go long, and then when it reverses like that, what I've gotten into right now, if it were, I don't go long on trendy kangaroos, the INTC one I was talking about, but I will sometimes add to my position. And if I see that it does that, it retraces, then I'll get out of my full position right away. Because it just seems like that's what it's going to do. Sorry, go ahead.
That's cool. This was the trade on Tesla, TSLL, yesterday. And we had that big initial pop, and it sold off, and it came down. This was around the 78% level. So it was a really steep pullback. But I waited for this green candle to print. We had a little bit of bump up in volume. So, but this also coincided with the non-manufacturing news release. You see, that was at 6:55 local time, which would be 9:55 Eastern, and at 10 Eastern, there was that news drop. So I got in like at what was it? I got in at 11:61 as it started breaching it. And then the news dropped, and then, I had my stop here, like a penny below, and flush. So same concept. You get yanked and then flush.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And at the end of the day, Evo, it's not a bad setup. I mean, if you look at the candles from a few candles before, it was that was a lot of buying, right? So you're assuming that there's a lot of buying going on. Right, so it could have worked as well.
Yeah, it could have worked, but again, when you for me, I normally don't dip by it around the 78 level, and this is a 78.6 fib level.
Yeah.
But again, when I saw it, and this, not only did we have an increase in volume, but I consider that engulfing. So, and you see some buying pressure right here with this. So I was like, okay, I'm in. Yeah. That's kind of an ABCD for me. It's a steeper pullback, but I'll get in. But to get in right at a news release event is, in hindsight, is not a good idea.
Yeah. And I don't know if you remember, but the pop happened very quickly. Like it was a pop, and then right after the pop, it came down. And whenever that from my experience, whenever that happens, that's a liquidity grab.
Yeah.
Right? They're trapping longs, and they're grabbing shares over here, and then boom, it just reverses.
They got mine.
Yeah.
But, I've held my stop.
Obviously, it's a pain in the ass. However, I know you're experienced enough to realize that it's okay to lose, whatever your percentage is. For me, if I lose half, it's okay, because my winners are bigger than my losers.
Yeah.
Right. So, but you have to be choosy. Right? You have to pick and choose what it is that that you want to put risk on. That INTC is very interesting. I mean, it's not a ticker I usually trade, but when you look at fibs, right, from the pullback, if it were to come back into this area and see a lot of buying, it could be interesting.
I might get in. We're looking like tweezer bottoms this current candle and last
Yeah.
candle.
Yeah, and if it can close above R4, can be, and again, I'm not telling you, I felt a little bit bad yesterday because I was hoping that I didn't influence your decision at all.
No. Not quite. It's like 2 cents off tweezer bottoms. That's like an awesome setup. It's right at VWAP.
Yeah. What does it do at 52? Right. That's what we want to see. IMTC. The book seems pretty balanced. 5206. See, that's pretty much what we just talked about. Right? How it made it above the 52.6, and then just retraced.
Yeah, you're right. It pinged up. I didn't enter, but I was kind of getting locked and loaded. I was quickly calculating my share size for my risk.
Yeah. Probably a good thing to hesitate for now.
Yeah, I like your idea maybe of just, because normally what I like to do is that green candle print. I like to get in right away as soon as that candle prints, because my risk is based off of the interval between the close and the low. If I wait, it may leave without me. But in this kind of market, I think more often than not, I think what you're talking is more appropriate, that they're going to wick it up, trap you, and then flush down.
I want to see the level hold, right? So the level on here is what? The high was 5206. I want to see 5206 hold, and I will look at the tape. I want to see that 5206 is absolutely holding. And if it holds, or if it comes back and retests 52 and doesn't break below 52, and then we can see the high of the initial pop break, then that's where I'll get in. So I'm very, very picky and choosy, especially in the first 30 minutes. I don't usually take trades, so that's why I don't mind looking at all these things. But and now it's been too long, right? So now I want to see how this candle prints. If it were to come and wick down here in the 50 again, it might even give you a better entry.
Yeah, right. Wait for a better entry with a tighter risk.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the market, and the SPY and the Qs, they're selling off right now. So, and it's a big red bar right on each of those. So I'm hesitant. I'm sorry, Tedek.
Yeah, I was saying the same, Evo. So just be aware of the market conditions.
Right on. Yeah, I don't want to jump into this trade right now based off of market conditions. I agree with Tedek.
Yeah, I forgot to look at or to share count the economics calendar, but there's nothing going on. You guys just reminded me to look at that.
I think everyone's waiting for tonight, 8 p.m.
Yeah, it's and hopefully, you know what? Hopefully, I downloaded. I don't know if you guys have already done this, but I downloaded Truth Social yesterday, and I'm following one person.
I'm going to do the same today. Thank you.
Yeah, you know what? I'm following one person I want, because that's where, you know, you don't need a Bloomberg terminal. You need Truth Social. You need to follow Donald Trump. And
Yep.
yeah, and that's, I've got the alerts. As soon as it happens, I'll get it on my watch. Hopefully something. Tarek, you're in that part of the world, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It'll be
yeah,
5 p.m. Pacific out here.
yeah. You know what? Fingers crossed that that things not only for that part of the world, but again, I don't want to be political, and but in as far as macroeconomics are concerned, a lot is counting on what will happen in that part of the world right now. It's not just Iran. It's oil. It's fertilizers. It's the Strait of Hormuz. It's, you know, global market stability. So I'm really hoping that that things um, work out, for lack of better term.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
Helium for I
Helium.
didn't even know about helium. I read that and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, look at the market in all my tickers: Palantir, Nvidia, AMD, the SPY, and big red candles right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, the sellers are having their days. So if
Yeah.
I gotta
Do
look
you
at the
ever go
inverse
short,
ETF.
Eagle?
Huh?
Do you ever go short?
No, I just trade the inverse ETF. So
Oh, okay.
Palantir, I'll go PLTZ,
Yeah.
Tesla, TSLQ, and those are leveraged, by the way, too.
Yeah.
But I know some of you, if you're overseas, you may not be able to trade those ETFs. I'm not sure.
So there's the alert on Google, right? And I said that's where I want to start looking at it. It's not necessarily for a long or a short. That's where I want to see what is happening. After a massive red candle like this, I'm not necessarily that interested in the long. Right. So now that it's broken out, and it didn't really break out as far as with a lot of momentum, if it did flush down, then I'd be looking at the retest at this area here. Another notification on Meta. There's INTC touching. But then you start thinking, okay, everything's dumping. Am I going to go along on INTC? Right? That's,
Yeah, no, not for me.
yeah,
I want the wind at my back.
yeah,
It's pointless to I mean, unless we're in a bull market and it just happens to be a bear day and the ticker you're looking at has a really strong catalyst, like earnings or something.
Yep.
No, that's a loser for me. So
yeah. So coming back to that, let's go to the 5 minute. If this prints a kangaroo tail, as in a long wick, the body were to close up here, that is my signal. But with the market dumping and everything else dumping, and the situation as it is, I probably wouldn't take it. I just, for today, I'd probably sit out, and I'm probably going to sit out out of everything until later on, until hopefully some good news comes out. Hopefully we get a Truth Social post that says to buy the market, and if it does, then you know, I'll probably get suckered in, because you know, well, he did a few months ago, and he said,
Yeah, I remember
buy it.
that.
All of a sudden the market just ripped. So, you know, whoever was on those burner phones, you know, I'm sure benefited. I obviously don't have any information on that, so in case I'm being actually listened by anyone. This is what I was looking at on MES here. I should put them where, right? The impulse sell started around 6:30 this morning. Then we started buying, and then popped right up above the 61.8, but we did not close above the 61.8. But I don't like these candles over here, but this candle right here, right there, how it popped up. Let's put the short tool on, entry there, stop. We'd have to zoom in. Let's look at the 2-minute. Right, stop. You'd be able to put above this area here, and then you look for 3. And there you go. Let's see if 3 is going to get a hit. That's the strategy there. Didn't take it because I don't like when it happened. I don't like that we popped up. We did close. Wait a minute. I think my fibs are in the wrong direction. From there to there. Yeah, no, they're okay. There, popped up into the golden zone. But I mean, you're shorting it pretty far away from the actual zone here. So not ideal. There will be other setups, and they're going to be better. So had that been a short, it's going to hit. Here we go. MNQ. Probably very similar. I can take this one out now. This. This I wanted there for a reason. There's a fib. This is where the impulse sells started happening. And then we started buying from here, wicked in again, right at the open. Short would have been on a new 5-minute, on a new 5-minute low here, unless you zoomed in. Let's go with the short tool just so that I have something there. Zoom into the 2. Do we have a bearish 2-minute to put your stop above these wicks here, and then aim for 3R. There we go. So 3R would be just under 24,000.
I think the SPY is going to definitely kind of retest this around the 648.9 level. That's hourly SMA 200. I see no reason why it's not going to head further south to that level around 648.90.
Yeah.
Look at the hourly chart. We had a big candle there on April 2nd. So yeah, it just seems like it wants to go there. Maybe it'll even test like 644.
Yeah, the low of a few days ago.
The pre-market of April 2nd. I see no reason why it won't. At least, but you never know. Maybe we'll get a green candle hammer right here. But it's kind of trending in that direction.
Yeah, it's on the hourly. It's getting very close to where we had a pullback on Thursday. Right, so this level right here, the low of this candle was 652.18. So 652. Wait a minute. The low of this candle was 652.18. 652.18. There's an alert on AMD. Yeah, this is where I said that I want to look at it.
Yeah, I think it's got room to the downside.
Oh, absolutely. I think everything does.
Yeah, I use sequence indicators on mine to mark sequence indicators, and the 15-minute we're in a 3 out of 9. On the hourly, we're at a 5 out of 9. So unless that breaks, yeah, that's just the trend is south for a while. So just good time to sit tight, maybe take a break, come back in a little while, see if something changes.
Yeah, that's I want to see. I wouldn't mind seeing some a pullback, sorry, a retest of the lows over here. But from where I had these levels, I set these up in pre-market this morning. It went right into that golden zone, right? Twice. But if you had gotten in here, it would have been stopped out here. Unless you get in and you put your stop above the 61.8. Right, so let's look at that. If let's say over here, this was a really big green candle here on the 2-minute. Let's look at the 5 first of all. So on this first touch over here, okay, I can take this one away. That one would have worked. But on the first touch here.
Could you zoom in a little bit, please?
Yeah. Right, so the fib here, let me do it again. There you go. So where was the most recent impulse buy or sell? The most recent from the pre-market where I was looking at it this morning at 8 o'clock. Most recent buying and selling was selling. So we started selling right up here. And then it started reversing, right? If we say, okay, it started reversing here, but then it made a new low, but then it made a new low again. But at this low here, this is where we really started making new highs. And then it came and touched right into, and I was looking at this candle because I was on my computer this morning and looked at this and didn't like it because of this massive wick over here. It didn't give me an entry. However, if I had gone in here short on the first touch, on the break below, which I wouldn't have taken it because it didn't prove itself that we were selling. Right? You can tell right here that it just made a new low and then started making new highs again. But let's just say you go in on the break of that 5-minute and you put your stop above the 61.8. Well, we're already at, we're close to 1.84, right? But when you're aiming for 3, it's quite the move that you need, right? So for me, that wasn't ideal. The second touch, though, over here, this I likely would have taken. On the break here, I probably would have gotten in right on the break of this low here. That's the candle that I'm looking at. It's rejecting. I probably would have zoomed into a 3-minute or a 2-minute. But let's say you get in right here, then you can put a little bit of a tighter stop. I'd probably put it right above the 50 and then aim for 3. Close enough, right over here. And if you did go to the 2-minute, once it wicked in, well, your entry would have been below a bearish candle. This one printed red. There's a lot of selling over here, right over here. And then you can put your stop a little bit tighter. I would not put my stop any lower than the 50. So I would put it right up here and then aim for 3. There you go. But it still might give another entry. And like I said in the pre-market, I don't like having a bias, but today is definitely a day where I've got a short bias. I cannot imagine a lot of massive hedge funds and banks and pension plans. And are they going long right now? Are they putting risk on right now with the state of where everything is? Probably not. So sorry, Avi just said something. Everyone, slight change of schedule for me. I'll be online soon after 10:30. Oh, great. So Avi's going to be on here right after me. So this is what I'm mainly going to be trading moving forward. Like I said, I've canceled my DOS subscription for now. I think I have it for a few more days, but I'm getting everything that I need from the top step where I don't want to say relearning futures, but getting back into futures. I haven't traded futures since 2024. And TradingView. The only thing I don't like, though, I like being able to look at the options chain. So if anybody has any suggestion on where I can see the options chain without using DOS, it's not available as far as I know. I don't see anything available in TradingView. I don't mind for data. Sorry, what?
Interactive brokers and the option.
Yeah, I've got IB. It is my my broker. You're absolutely right. How I then think about it, I don't know. I do have TWS on my screen, or sorry, on my computer. I'm just not very confident and familiar with it, but I will get familiar with it. I haven't had to because I had DOS. I've had DOS for 4 or 5 years. But thank you for sharing that, Derek. You're absolutely right. I'm going to start getting familiar with IB. There you go. I don't know anybody in any positions. Anybody willing to put risk on in this market?
I'm trying along on the Nasdaq, but just very tight.
On what?
On the MNQ.
MNQ. It is printing. What was it on the 2-minute? It seemed to have printed a bullish candle right over here. You know, I wouldn't. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm just looking for a pullback, a quick, like 50 points move.
Yeah, and it's a good strategy.
Just to
like I said, I mean, we're hoping for a pullback so that we can reload and come back down. Well, that means that it needs to go up, right? So that's I know a lot of people that would take that trade. So that's not a bad trade, right? You're not looking for a high a day or, 52-week high. You're just looking for what you said, a 50-point move.
And that's very tight. I took it on 20 points, 20 points stop loss. So if it makes the move, it will move what 60 points.
Yeah. So 2.5 R. If you get your 50 or 60, it's 3 R. That's fantastic. Right. Don't know what oil is doing right now. I'm assuming it's going higher. Yeah. There you go. I put that same level on CL this morning from the high going up here. See how it went and touched the golden zone, right, with this candle here. But that's a massive wick. I mean, there's no way I'm touching this. But on the next candle, it did go in there. But then, look, it did not make a new low. And then it started getting into, and once it starts playing into this golden zone here, then for me, that the entire range is deleted for me, right? I don't even look at it anymore if it's just chopping around in here, because what you want to see is that we're actually rejecting this area, right? We're selling in this area, like here, right? This is a really good example. Here, it just touched it, did not really put in a new 5-minute low. This new 5-minute low took too long. Sorry, that's a 2-minute. It took too long after this printed, but this one right here, I just don't like that it was right at 9:30. But that's going to change once I start getting more into futures. I will be trading pre-market, aftermarket, 8 p.m. If my pattern sets up, I will be taking it. But this one is a great example. Look at how it went into that that zone, and then did not close above there. And then on the break of that area, boom. And then it retested and then made a new low. Seems to be retesting again. Now, if it makes a new 5-minute low below 24,037, I wouldn't be surprised to see another dump. And oil, considering this I'm no longer looking at. So if I just approach the chart now, I'd be saying, okay, where did the last impulse move start? Well, it started right here. So grab my fib, go from here. Actually, some people might start it right here, but I'll just bring it to the high right now, but we don't, where I would stop it is where it starts reversing. Actually, let's do it here, right? So let's say if I replay and I go to here, right? If I had seen this, this is where I'd put the top. And this range right here would be where I'd be looking to go long. Right, go like this. Well, it wicked down. Oops. And then once it makes a new high, then you have to change your fib. This doesn't change, right? Where I started the fib doesn't change, but the top changes because we've made new highs. So I can't really snap it to anything right now because we haven't started selling. So once we start selling, then I'll be able to take this to the high. So this is what I do here, right? Let's say we start selling here. That's where my fib's going to go. And then I go over here and set an alert. And I walk away, right? As far as I'm concerned, I do nothing until we come and retest this level. And then I don't necessarily, some people will get in, they'll put in a limit order and just get in right away for a long. If I'm at the computer and I've got time, I will look at it. I want to see, will it dip down into here and then start buying? And if so, then that's a long. And I aim for 3R. And my stop would be below the most recent wick. Ollie, you can see the options chain in TradingView. I don't know if that's new, but I know that I haven't tried to look for it in the last year and a half. Just late 2024 is when I started getting into options. And I know that I think they weren't available then, but if you can share either in the chat or come on the mic and let me know where I could find them, that'd be great.
Why are we trading options?
I don't want to trade them. I just like looking at the price action on options, because you'll often see the move happen in the options chain before you actually see it on the stock. No, I was just saying, hey, Avi, how's it going?
All good, all good.
I was just saying that I just canceled my my DOS subscription. So I'll be losing my my options chain, which I'm not planning on trading options actively, but I would still like to have the option of seeing the options chain.
Well, congrats on detaching from DOS.
Yeah, it's a weird feeling. I just did it this morning. The renewal was on the 10th. So I just went into PayPal, canceled it, and just think, it's a little bit of an end of an era, because it really helped me. That's where I learned how to trade, especially day trade. But I haven't taken a trade on, or many trades on DOS in the last weeks, and I don't see the need for it anymore.
That's it. It's a new era moving forward. Bigger, better trading, smoother, more detached, all the good stuff. And yeah, I've heard also that TradingView has the options chain. So I'm sure a quick Google search will reveal the answer there.
Yeah, it's below on the right side, the 9 square button. below on the right. Anyway, I'll look for it after the session. Go ahead, Avi. You can share your screen if you want to get started. I'm going to walk away, and I've set a couple alerts on futures of what I'm looking at, and yeah, we'll see if it happens. Nice pullback for the break and retest in Qs right now. Right, broke down below pre-market low and is just retesting right now. So this is an interesting area to be looking at.
Awesome. Cool. Good stuff. Thanks, Joe.
Yeah, no worries.
All right. Good morning, guys. Good morning. I've missed Joe. It's been a while. Let me get the
Thank you,
recording.
Joe.
Thanks, Evo. All right.
All right.
I'm going to hang around, but I'm going to get off the camera and the mic. All right. Cheers. Have a good day. I'll be back tomorrow.
All right. Thanks, Joe. We'll get this recording started. There we go. All right. Always good with Joe, right? Nice and smooth, nice and mellow. No overexcitement nonsense at the open, right? I think that's the part that most people are missing.